I am Kim Green, and I am a breast cancer survivor. I was actually diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 45. I went to my doctor for my regular routine, and she referred me for a mammogram. And after I got the mammogram, I was called back for an ultrasound and a biopsy. And so once it was time to have the results, the nurse called me and she said to bring someone with me. In all of my years that I have been to the doctor, they have never asked me to bring someone for an appointment. And this was during the pandemic. So for them to ask me to bring someone, I was just shocked. And so my husband and I went to the doctor's appointment. And when my doctor came in, she told me that you have breast cancer. And I was like, yes. And she said, did you hear what I said? And I said, I don't have breast cancer. And she was like, yes, you do. And I went into a shock because I'm like, wow. And I remember in that moment asking God, what is the lesson in this? What is it that I need to do or go tell? And from that point on, my life changed in this journey with breast cancer. When I was first told that I had breast cancer, it was a moment of shock. It was a moment of, wow. And then to find out that I had stage 4 breast cancer with a shorter span of time to survive it began to get real. And I began to feel certain ways. I would have my ups and my downs. And that's why it's very important to have a good support group. In the journey with breast cancer, I would say some of my highs were just having that support, having someone to hold my hand, having somebody to encourage me, having faith in God to believe that He can get me through this. And my lows were with the chemo. There were moments when my body didn't feel good. I remember that first night of chemotherapy and treatments, I had a very hard night, I really did, and because my body had to adjust to it. And it was something to remember, but I had to keep going through the treatments, keep going through taking the medicine, and just keep focusing on the process. I did have a few weak moments because when I would go to the doctor for my chemotherapy and my treatments, the results would come back that nothing was changing. And I began to just wonder what was coming next. I began to think about my family, I began to think about my children. I began to think about things that I wanted to do that I hadn't done. And so I've had those moments when it's like, is this the end? But we can't look at it like that. We have to overcome those things. And that's why it was so good to have somebody to say, hey, it's gonna be okay. Or have someone to say, hey, keep your head up. And that's why one of the things that I tell people is that it's not the fight that gets you going, it's the motivation pushing you to win. Because in some moments you may not feel like fighting, but because you have that person there or those people there to say, hey, get up, you can do this, it makes it all worthwhile. Some of the advice that I would give to others and some of the lessons learned was one, have a journal, because you want to write down what you've been told, because in those moments it can be confusing with all the information that's given to you at one time. Make sure you take notes, write the things down that you need to write down. Also drink plenty of water, because with chemotherapy or radiation, your body tends to drain and become dehydrated. So drink plenty of fluids, even have some chapstick with you. And also just be mindful of the things that you eat. And in the beginning stage with me, with chemo, it made me not hungry, but if you eat a little at a time, because your body still needs to produce. So eat just a little bit at a time, and eventually you may want to eat a little bit more. Bravery to me when it comes to breast cancer is to know that you are afraid, but you keep pressing, you keep going, you keep moving forward. You don't let it hold you down. You know that your faith is bigger than your fear. When I think about the future, I think about my children. I think about my daughter. She wants to be an azalea trail mate. And so we're preparing for that. I think about the fact that I'm still here to be able to share those moments and memories with them. My overall health is good. I'm really in a good place. I'm trusting God and believing that He's going to continue to see me through. So I'm grateful for that. I've survived it, I overcame it, and now it's just time to help others in their journeys. I started I Care With You Breast Cancer Awareness Organization as an assignment from God. When He gave me I Care With You, I was like, are you serious? But I'm grateful now because He knew what I did not know. But in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7, the word tells us that God says, cast your cares on me. So that's how I Care With You came about. Throughout my journey, my motto has been, it's not the fight that gets you going, it's the motivation pushing you to win. And you can get involved by going to our website to connect, volunteer, or donate.